African football is decided tonight amid a spine-tingling atmosphere here at the Stade Prince Moulay Abdallah in Rabat. Welcome everyone. This was the venue in January that hosted the final of the Africa Cup of Nations. Now it is the Total Energies CAF Champions League that is decided in the Moroccan capital. Royal Armed Forces up against Mamelodi Sundowns of South Africa to decide the best team on the continent for this season. Well, it's been an incredibly noisy build-up. There's a great sense of expectation, a wonderful crowd here tonight. Mamelodi Sundowns with a slender one-goal lead from the first leg in Pretoria last Sunday. The Moroccans looking to overturn that with home advantage. Sundowns looking to hold on to it to be crowned African champions for the second time. The permutations tonight, pretty simple. Royal Armed Forces must win by 2 clear goals to overturn the deficit. Any other combination will see Sundowns crowned champions, except, of course, if it's 1-0 to Royal Armed Forces, then we will go to penalties. There will not be any extra time in the final tonight. Both of these clubs have won the top club prize on the continent once before. Sundowns did that 10 years ago in 2016. And they did it away from home as well in Alexandria, Egypt against Zamalek. But it's been a 41-year wait for the Moroccans, who were champions way back in 1985. A small band of Sundown supporters on hand to back their team, but they'll be certainly outsung and find it hard to hear their own voices amid this incredible atmosphere in Rabat. Lots of passionate local fans who through the day have been slowly making their way to the stadium. Pretty much half full by 90 minutes before kickoff, and although there's still some seats vacant, we are going to have a wonderful night of noise, I'm sure, from the Royal Armed Forces supporters. So Sundowns, of course, runners-up last season. They lost in the second leg in Cairo to Pyramids, but they have an impressive record of being consistent performers in the Champions League, perhaps earning a reputation for performing particularly strongly in the group phase, but then coming short in the knockout rounds. It's something that they'll want to change tonight. They're up against the club who've only participated in this competition 3 times in the last 4 decades. They got to the group phase in 2007 and were quarter-finalists in the Champions League last season. So we wait the arrival of the 2 teams. Fans have their phones out, all recording the images ahead of a rare night, of course, the opportunity to sit and watch in your hometown the African Champions League final. That's the good fortune that has befallen Royal Armed Forces this year, by the luck of the draw, getting the right to host the second leg. Mamelodi Sundowns, by the way, in all of their final appearances, have been forced to play away from home in the second leg of the final. But on their penultimate final appearance in 2016, of course, victorious in Egypt last year, losing by the odd goal 3-2 on aggregate to Pyramids. Mamelodi Sundowns losing their South African title yesterday after winning the league for 8 successive seasons with 10 games to go in Morocco. Royal Armed Forces are in second place in their domestic championship, 1 point off the top. They do have a game in hand as well, and they are chasing a league title which they last won 3 seasons ago. Well, we had lots of drama when we were last at this venue in January for the Cup of Nations finals. There is a great hope that it's going to be a showpiece night for African football this evening, with none of the histrionics that unfortunately marred that particular game. It was a wonderful tournament that the Moroccans put together for the Cup of Nations at the turn of the year, and it's a big show that they're putting on tonight as well here for the final of the continent's top club competition. Last week, of course, Usma from Algeria winning the Confederation Cup. But this is the one that all the big clubs have been chasing for a very long time, and a special night for both Royal Armed Forces and for Mamelodi Sundowns. Seydou Keita, former Mali international, Barcelona legend, is the man who will bring the trophy out onto the pitch. He's one of the special guests that CAF have invited to this final. Also Mohamed Tamoumi, who was one of the heroes for Morocco when they did so well at the World Cup in Mexico in 1986, beat England, Poland and Portugal to top place in their group. He's here amongst the legends tonight, and the former South Africa captain Stephen Pienaar, who was also invited by the Confederation of African Football to grace the occasion. So here comes Seydou Keita, has the gloves on, of course, and carrying what is quite a weighty trophy, a very good looking one too. And later on tonight, the captain of either Royal Armed Forces or Mamelodi Sundowns will be hoisting that into the night sky. Keita's career at club level, of course, mostly played in France and in Spain. Best remembered for his time with Barcelona. And now we await the arrival of the teams and the noise that will greet both sides as they come out. They've had an opportunity, the players, to walk out on the pitch, an opportunity, of course, to have their traditional pre-match warm-up. But I don't think they're going to have experienced much like they will do in a couple of seconds' time as they come through the tunnel here at this very, very impressive venue and onto the pitch. Led, of course, by tonight's referee from Somalia, Omar Atan. He's one of the 7 African referees headed to the World Cup in Canada, Mexico and the USA next month. What a night for this young man, Letlaku, Sukwayo Letlaku, whose mom and brother are both here tonight to watch him. Only 20 years old and just a 4th successive game since being put back into the Mamelodi Sundowns starting lineup. The atmosphere now begins to ratchet up a notch or two. Much expectation when that whistle goes to get matters underway. Royal Armed Forces with a Senegalese and an Angolan import. Mamelodi Sundowns lineup tonight has Portuguese, Brazilian and Colombian influence. This is the home lineup for tonight. Just the one change. Yunus Abdelhamid, who gave away the free kick that led to Aubrey Modiba's goal in the first half in Pretoria on Sunday, is dropped for tonight's game. And back into the lineup comes the central defender from Senegal, number 4, Fallou Mendy, who missed the first leg because of a thigh injury. But for the rest, Alexander Santos, the coach of Royal Armed Forces, sticking with the lineup that certainly was on the back foot through much of the first leg at Loftus Versfeld. So, last African champions in 1985. Can they do it tonight? Ronwen Williams is the skipper of the South African side. And he will go across and exchange both handshakes and pendants with Mohamed Rimrat, the midfield maestro for Royal Armed Forces and their skipper. It looks as if the Moroccans are going to defend the goal to the left-hand side. Mamelodi Sundowns presumably will get matters underway. There's confirmation of tonight's officials. Mr. Atan in the middle, Mr. Abdul Razak from Djibouti, and Stephen Yembe from Kenya are the 2 men on the line. Daniel Larie from Ghana is our VAR referee tonight, along with support from Eswatini. So Mamelodi Sundowns forced into a single change for this evening's encounter with the hamstring injury suffered by the left back Aubrey Modiba. The Zimbabwean international Divine Lunga takes his place. Grant Kakana is back from suspension, but only on the bench tonight. So the central defensive pairing of Cupido and Damande remains. No place again in the starting lineup for Ikram Reyners or Tembazwane, and no place in the matchday selection for the Namibian goal ace Peter Shalulile. Young Tato Sabia certainly amongst the most inexperienced there. CAF president Patrice Motsepe, next to him the head of Moroccan football Fawzi Lekja. Two of them regarded as the powerhouses behind the scenes in African football. Right, all the talking, all the build-up, all the predictions can now be forgotten. We settle back and see what unfolds over the next 90 minutes. Sundowns to get matters underway. The team in the Brazilian colours against the hosts tonight, Royal Armed Forces from Morocco. Letlako out on that right-hand side is the youngest man across the two teams this evening. Early touch at the back will be appreciated by Ronwen Williams. Damani straight down the line, looking for Leon to chase onto that. And now both goalkeepers have had an opportunity. Tugged out with a left-footed clearance. Good little flick on above. Cupido from Al-Fali. Last Moroccan success, of course, in this competition, Wydad Casablanca against Al Ahly, not far from here, about an hour or so away at Casablanca Stadium. The atmosphere that night was incredible. The losing coach was Pitso Mosamani, ex-Sundowns, on the bench for Al Ahly. Damani with a clearing header. Leon with a good first touch, but the tackle is from Rimat. Misplaced pass, Mendy under a bit of pressure. This is To Canero, who spent so many years, of course, with Petro Atletico in Luanda. That's good tracking back by Letlaku in combination with Mudau, seeing off the opportunity down the left-hand side for Royal Armed Forces. Now Nuno Santos, pass does not find Adams. There'll be a fair amount of aggression in the middle. Well, the linesman unsure, and the referee says Sundowns ball. This is the Portuguese-born coach, Alexander Santos, 49-year-old, who has played 4 times previously against Sundowns, won a big victory over them in the quarter-final of the Champions League 3 years ago. It was something of a surprise when Petro eliminated Sundowns, at that time coached by Rulani Mokwena. And Sundowns did have some revenge in the African Football League against Petro, winning fairly comfortably over 2 legs when Santos was also still in charge there. Now Mudau. Mendy with a clearing header. Jayden Adams getting the nod yet again in midfield ahead of the Chilean Marcelo Allende. Miguel Cardoso will turn 54 on Thursday. This, of course, his 3rd Champions League final in a row. Lost with Esperance to Al Ahly in 2024, of course, and then last year with Pyramids, with Sundowns losing to Pyramids in the last Champions League final. That's cleverly done by Letlaku, kicking it against the opponent, winning the free kick, or the throw-in on the far side. Mudau takes it quickly, looks for Brian Leon. Oh, it's getting a little feisty early on here. A yellow card almost immediately. Jaden Adams is not one to be toyed with. And Mr. Artan will hand out another yellow, it would seem, to the centre-back, Marwan Lunadi. He's flashed 2 yellows in there. I think the first one went to Leon. And to Boko Mokwena, just telling him to calm down a little bit. Good advice from an experienced player. He's got a little knock at the back there from Ait Urkane. Leon feels he owes the club and his teammates a little bit after those missed chances in the first leg last Sunday. Certainly opportunity to give Sundowns a larger margin to bring into this second leg. He'll be hyped up, perhaps a little bit too tightly wound up. Leon looking to rectify that. Rabat cut out by Adams. This is Letlaku. He's going to take Tocanero on. Cuts inside the 2 players. Little ball inside for Leon. Nice idea, but cut out by Mendy. Mudau under a little bit of pressure from Hadraf. Hadraf's got decent pace. Williams gets there first. Well, these early exchanges seeing both sides turning possession over. Last Sunday in the first leg, Sundowns had 71% of the possession, twice as many touches in the opposing box as Royal Armed Forces. Here's Mokwena now, using his strength, just holding off the challenge, and he should get the throw in there. Divine Lunga, you might remember, was preferred to Aubrey Modiba at left-back during the Club World Cup just under a year ago or so in the US. The thinking at the time was Lunga was perhaps the better defender, Modiba the better player on the overlap. But you have to have some sympathy with Aubrey Modiba. That horrible hamstring injury in the second half after scoring that glorious free kick last Sunday means he's missed out on this entire experience here in Morocco. Now Williams gets himself out of the press, not convincingly, and they've given possession away with Ndamani putting that straight into touch. This is Reda Slim. Throw in only, no free kick. Hadraf now across from the skipper. Tocanero looking to get some running down that left-hand side with Hamoudan. Well, they've got to come out and play, the Moroccans. Try and claw back the deficit. That's going to certainly offer opportunity for Mamelodi Sundowns. Yesterday, the coach of the home side, Alexander Santos, described the opponent Sundowns as the best club side in Africa over the last decade. So he certainly has a high opinion of the opponent, but he did promise too that they were going to come and win this game, Royal Armed Forces. Let's see if that's indeed going to be the case. Defensive work from Mudau. This is dangerous, cleared away by Ndamani. Another ball across the face of goal. Letlaku with the clearance. Played back in by Ait Urkane. A little anxious moment there for Mamelodi Sundowns as that ball came across the face of goal. No one there to try and stick it away for Royal Armed Forces. That's certainly lifted the noise here from the home fans. Lunga was late. Let's see what the referee's going to do here. Rabat, the captain, is going to try and make as much of this as he possibly can. Well, he certainly came in late, Lunga. Let's see what the referee's going to do. Makes the challenge, but Rabat had the ball, or got to the ball first. Well, the ref was in there very quickly just to calm matters. We'll wait to see what his decision is going to be. Lunga looks to have hurt himself. Rabat asking, is there going to be no sanction for the Sundowns left back? The effect of sliding on this slippery surface would have accelerated Lunga into Rabat. It looks as if Divine Lunga has had a little divine intervention, because no sanction from the referee. Obviously feels it was not done maliciously nor deliberately. Got his timing wrong, but had no intention of hurting the opponent. They're down to 10 for the moment while Lunga waits to come back on. Now he'll hobble back onto the field. Ndamani to clear this upfield. Young man who less than 6 months ago was playing at TS Galaxy near the foot of the South African League last season, and then a much better campaign with Ndamani getting a starring berth, enough to attract the attention of Sundowns and earn himself a move. Slim. Aitor Khan might want that ball to go a little quicker through to the right back, Anas Bach, who was pushing up very quickly. Adams to turn, looking to get Lunga going down the left. So far the passes must be set from both sides, not sticking. Good interception from Mokoena. Now Tashrik Matthews, was he fouled from behind? Referee concurs. It's going to be a free kick in favour of Sundowns. The 25-year-old Matthews, 9 goals in 37 starts this season. Going to go all the way through to Tugnout, in fact away for a goal kick. There's a little nerves around the place, understandably so too. The opening salvos here in the second leg of the Champions League final. The winner, of course, gets a berth at the Club World Cup in 2029, which rumours have it will be played right here in Morocco. Yet to be confirmed by World Football's governing body FIFA, but the Moroccans seem to be pretty confident. No foul there on Matthews. Ball excellently won by Khalid Aitor Khan. Now gets it out wide. This is Hamoudan. Tocanero, excellent ball across, and Mokoena gets the clearance ahead of the goalkeeper. Second time now they've delivered an interesting square pass from that left-hand side. The Angolan international again. Rabat, Mendy. Pass again through the middle to Hadraf. Hamudan now driving forward. Canero gets the cross in again over the head of Lunga. That's perhaps a little too strong from this right-hand side. Well, they're gaining in confidence, it must be said, the home players. They have been thrown onto the pitch. That's dangerous. As Canero's earlier ball that Mokoena decided he was going to clear, not wait for the goalkeeper. Ronman Williams did point out yesterday in the pre-match press conference that it would be very difficult to hear each other in this noise. They're obviously vastly experienced, this Mamelodi Sundowns side, in terms of playing in front of these big North African crowds. Little chance of communicating with your teammates. Just make your decision and get on with it. And that's likely why he applauded Mokoena's clearance. Slim. Challenge made by Adams. Now away comes Mokoena. Looking for Matthews out wide. It needed that interception. There's a bit of space opening up on the right here as well with Hadraf. Cuts inside, down he goes. Crowd looking for the penalty, but not too many of the Royal Armed Forces players. Yeah, might be a chance though for the home team. Skewed off the left side of the boot by Rabat, the captain. Well, that was an excellent opportunity. Pull back onto the left foot. He'll be really disappointed he didn't connect that properly, Mohamed Rabat. 2 goals in 13 appearances in the Champions League this season. That was never going to be a penalty for Abdel Fattah Hadraf. Not too sure the coaching staff were all that convinced either, but always worth having an appeal just in case. Damani is the player who needs treatment. Remember, Grant Kakana back from suspension. He missed the second leg of the semi-final against Esperance of Tunisia, plus the first leg of the final. 2-match ban for him, but he is available if Damani can't continue. Damani is off the field, waiting to be called back on again. Sundowns down to 10 for the moment. Williams goes long. Letlaku with Canero. Last touch off the home fullback. It'll be a Sundowns throw-in. Not much to choose between these two sides in terms of the possession as we approach the 20-minute mark. Damani still waiting to come on. Now he gets the signal. Santos, Letlaku, dispossessed. Sundowns yet to make an incision into the Royal Armed Forces box, but this might be the opportunity now. Mokoena in search of Leon, cleaned up by Mendy and Tocanero at the back. Possession, however, returned. Cupido, Mokoena, Damani will go to the left. Here's Lunga with a bit of space to manoeuvre. Williams, ball up front is returned. Adams to Lunga. No real pressure on Tocanero at the back. There was a rather elegant first touch from the Angolan. Now Mokoena gets away from Rimrat, and the skipper is going to go in the book. Has to take one for the team there. He knows it too. He got caught and in the end forced into the foul. Mokoena was away from him, was tugging at the jersey. The fact he didn't rip that one is, I suppose, credit to the jersey manufacturers. So confirmation of what is the third yellow of this game so far. Mokoena down. And a little knock on the chin, he's suggesting. So far the referee cool, calm and collected. It's likely to be a feisty affair at times, that he's handled it well so far, just calming the players down and waving away unnecessary appeals. Long way to go though. We are just past the 20-minute mark here. In the meantime, Tashik Matthews being called over quickly by his coach. Bet that most of these home fans were not around back in 1985 when Royal Armed Forces beat Belima of the then Zaire over 2 legs in the final. They won the first leg here at home by 5-2. Went away to Kinshasa for the second leg, and a 1-1 draw was enough there with a comfortable lead from the first leg to ensure their one and only African Champions Cup title. Champions League, of course, introduced in 1997. Royal Armed Forces have only been in this new era, as it were, 3 times, have competed in the Champions League since 97. Mamelodi Sundowns, on the other hand, along with Al Ahly and Esperance of Tunisia, the most consistent performers in Africa's top club competition. And Sundowns and Al Ahly, the team who've been to more group phase competitions than any other. That's this current Sundowns generation who come in with so much experience in this competition. An example, of course, is Ronman Williams at the back, over 40 matches in the Champions League alone for Sundowns in the 4 seasons that he's been with the club. Cupido looking for Leon. Mendy is the defender. Canero now, he's under a bit of pressure, clears it away. Adams wins possession. Now back with Mudau. Ndamane. Looking now to put their stamp on this game, or Sundowns. Control possession, keep the ball, make the opponents do the work. The Moroccans certainly can't afford to sit back. Ndamane gives the ball away though. Mudau's made an excellent tackle. Wow. No doubt he's the best right back on the African continent. Every game, another stupendous tackle. Now Letlaku gets the ball away on the left foot. Not enough power, but that's the first shot in anger from Mamelodi Sundowns in this game. There's Mokoena. This is Adams. Nuno Santos. with Matthews. Back again. Is he going to fire? Matthews! Wide a goal. Suddenly they found their mojo. Two confidence-building attacks from Sundowns, just reminding Royal Armed Forces of the quality that they were up against last Sunday in the first leg. Struck it cleanly enough, but putting it wide. Two Sundowns players beaten in the air there by Ait Urkan. This is Anes Bach. His defensive colleague, Rodney. Bach again under a bit of pressure. Gets it upfield. Quena hunting down Ait Urkan, who's really been the pick of the bunch in the midfield so far for Royal Armed Forces. Now El Fali on the edge of the area. Battling away, dives down, referee not interested. Again, the crowd are on their feet, hollering for a penalty. And he's made it quite clear that that was a little bit of theatrics. Seydou Keita didn't look too impressed either. Up against Keanu Cupido here. Yeah, no ways he's going to be given a penalty for that. Referee was right up with play. There he makes it clear. A dive. No penalty. Perhaps lucky not to pick up a yellow for gamesmanship. Cupido, though, was risking. Rodney, Bach down the line. Sundowns throw in off the boot of Rera Slim. That's an inviting ball into the middle from Ait Urkan again. Hamdouni. I think that hit Lunga in a rather sensitive area, but he stayed on his feet. Tocanero gets us across. Cupido will clear. Mendy now with Trimat. This is a little better now from the home side. Another excellent challenge from Mudau. El Fali having no way past Kuliso Mudau. Well, a shower of projectiles now being thrown at Mudau. Wasn't that a superb challenge? That's perhaps the best advice from Miguel Cardoso. Everybody just calm down a little bit. Now the ball boys have cleared some of the debris away. We can get matters back underway. So just a reminder, Sundowns winners by a single goal in the first leg exactly a week ago in Pretoria. No goals here in the second leg. Sundowns still leading by a goal on aggregate. Remember, in African club competition, the away goal rule still counts, so another one for Sundowns would certainly make matters very difficult for Royal Armed Forces. That would be certainly the strategy for the visiting side. with the hand in the back of Al-Fali, gives away the free kick. His hand in the face of Mo Salah at the Cup of Nations that saw Egypt win over Bafana in their group game. Header away from Adams, back in from Mendy. Now they're looking for something on the counter. Leon on the chase, might be a little too strong. Out comes keeper Taknauti. He's been the best player of the campaign, the goalkeeper for Royal Armed Forces. Perhaps knocking on the door as one of the backup keepers for Morocco at the World Cup. They haven't announced their squad yet. They haven't set a date for the announcement either. The national team coach will be watching closely tonight. Another good challenge from Mudau. Exquisite timing. Ron Williams knows how vital those challenges are. So 30 minutes gone. Another set-piece opportunity for Royal Armed Forces, knocking on the door here. Up goes Mendy, climbing all over the defenders. Referee says play on, though. This is Bach. Curling ball, Santos gets a little touch. Amdouni back in again. They're really testing them in the air. And it's going to be a corner. Now the pressure being ratcheted up a notch or two. Now, was there a push from Mendy on Leon? Didn't get anything for that one, Brian Leon. Slim will take this. A poor one to the near post. Equally poor clearance, it must be said, from Nuno Santos. He's given away the throw-in. Will look for a little distance with this one. Played for Morocco in the African Nations Championship that they won last year. Bach, as well as the Arab Cup, which they were also successful in. Mokoena offside. Sundowns with 9 goals conceded in 13 matches. Most importantly, kept a clean sheet in their last 3 matches in this competition. Royal Armed Forces have the best defensive record, however, only 8 goals conceded in 15 Champions League matches. They played an extra round in the prelims to get through to the group phase. In fact, they haven't conceded more than a goal per game since Pyramids gave them a 4-1 thumping in the quarterfinals last season. Now looking for Leon over the head of both the Colombian striker as well as defender Luadni. In the middle with Mendy. Running down the line, the pass was from Primat. Al-Fali into the middle, bypasses Cupido and Lunga. Well, they believe, Royal Armed Forces, they should have got a penalty there, but the referee said play on. Adams, Letlaku. Referee says stop play. He's going to go and check. This might be the opportunity that Royal Armed Forces are looking for. Initially not given by the referee. Have a look here. Lunga catches Slim on his thigh. And the VAR will surely ask the referee from Somalia to go and have a look. The bench of the home side certainly believed there was a penalty. Slim has stayed down since that challenge by Divine Lunga. Young-looking referee from Mogadishu. He's 34 years old. VAR are checking. Well, they can debate as much as they like with the ref. It's the VAR that will give him the steer on what to do next. There's the challenge from Lunga. And Mr. Attan has been sent to the monitor. So, a big decision awaits now. The home crowd in anticipation. Will Royal Armed Forces be awarded the penalty? Not sure that's the best angle for the referee to look at. We've seen a few better ones than that. Slim gets ahead of Lunga. Now, was he trying to challenge him? Was he looking to put his foot down? What will the referee decide? Mr. Artan wants another look. Slim getting ahead of Lunga there. Now, was Lunga looking just to bring his foot down? Well, you have to say in most cases that is likely to be given as a spot kick, but the longer the Somali referee takes to look at this, perhaps more and more doubt creeps in. Let's see what his decision is. Penalty. The stadium erupts in celebration. Royal Armed Forces with a chance to break the deficit. Divine Lunga brought in place of Aubrey Modiba, caught perhaps by the pace of Reda Slim. And now the goal, or the penalty stopping abilities of Ronman Williams will be coming to the fore. And Williams is halfway between the halfway line and the penalty box. He's taking his time about making his way back, just adding to the tension. And this is the chance they were looking for. They wanted to get themselves back level. Incredible pressure here on skipper Rabat. He missed that earlier opportunity with that left-footed attempt that skewed off the side of his boot. He's got an excellent chance now to make up for that from the penalty spot. The tension, though, is huge. Ronald Williams is certainly making him wait. The referee just warning Williams now. All part of building up the tension, putting off the opponent. Way off his line, he's creeping ever closer to the penalty spot, Williams. Just looking to toy a little bit with the pressure and the mind of the opponent. You remember the excellent saves in the Cup of Nations in the Ivory Coast from Ronwen Williams. Saves that put South Africa into the semi-final at the expense of Cape Verde. His backup today, the 41-year-old Dennis Onyango, is also an excellent penalty stopper. So Rabat against Williams, sends him the wrong way. Royal Armed Forces have the lead. Pretty much around the same time as Mamelodi Sundowns scored in the first leg. Royal Armed Forces have the equaliser, the aggregate equaliser, as we head towards half-time. Well, defensive error from this man, Divine Lunga. And so we are all square here in the Champions League. Initially, the referee said no penalty, but on review with the VAR, decided to give it, and Rabat gave Williams no chance. Well, that was the reaction from both the crowd and the coach. In the meantime, we're back underway as Brian Leon finds Nuno Santos. Letlaku, good interception from To Caneiro. Santos missing the challenge. El Fali pushing forward. Now, Hamudan. Slim. Another inviting ball into the middle. This time, Williams collects comfortably. Remember, however, if Sundowns get a goal with the away goals rule, it would necessitate Royal Armed Forces to score 3 times if they were to win the tie. That's the advantage of scoring away from home. That was Sundowns' priority in the first leg, according to Coach Cardoso, when he was asked yesterday about do they regret not winning by a bigger margin. He said, well, most importantly, we kept a clean sheet. There is a 0 behind our name. But that is no longer the case now. Santos finds Mokoena. Early ball in for Leon. Cut out by Mendy. Letlaku. Adams, Mokoena. Play on, says the referee. Now, a challenge needed by Cupido. A good one too. El Fadli on the left. Not going to take on Kaliso Madao this time. Bach. Chance for Rabat on the head. It's got the faintest of touches off the top. El Fadli delivers another cross. Lunga clears this away. A bit more conviction this time from the left back. Letlaku. Matthews. This might be a chance for Brian Leon. Just a little too strong from Tashrik Matthews. Adams sliding in there. Lunga as well. Commitment on both sides here. Hamudan. El Fadli. Now the pace of the game is really picking up. Drag back. Oh, good chance. Hadraf, who's only scored a single goal this season, none in the Champions League, puts that wide. Making good traction down the flanks, Royal Armed Forces, and at the same time testing Sundowns with those square balls into the penalty area. What an excellent opportunity again. And they've got the wind in their sails now a little. Sundowns struggling to get some momentum. There was a little purple patch for them midway through this first half. They got a couple of shots away at goal, but Royal Armed Forces bounced back very quickly. Now Santos. Given away, or almost given away again. Not the best of passes from the Portuguese. Cupido. Damani. Just slowing it down a little bit now as we approach half-time. Should be a fair amount of time added on given the VAR check, and we had a couple of stoppages for injury. Damani. Lunga into Matthews. Just gets away from him. Rodney. Over the head of Fari, but he gets it back from Madao. Rare mistake by the right back. Play on, says the ref. Adams. Just not getting the passes flowing here, Mamelodi Sundowns. Their inside play in the first leg was of the highest quality. The little triangles and exchanges of passes they made really had Royal Armed Forces at 6s and 7s at times, but tonight maybe the nerves are dominating. Fair, not too much to do tonight for Tugnout. Good little flick on. Al-Fali on the left. Ball came from Slim. Al-Fali back. Lunga. Headers away. Matthews clears away. Bach losing out to Matthews. He has a chance now for Sundowns. Matthews, no way through, and he is going to get the free kick, and Bach is going to get the yellow card. Again beaten by Matthews, and feeling the need to pull him back in order to make up for the error. Seven minutes. That's quite a lot added on by referee Artan. Maybe Sundowns will see it as an opportunity to get themselves on the score sheet before half-time. As Leon plays that in on the left, Lunga with a cross, and first save of the night from Tugnout. Actually out of nothing, that one from Mamelodi Sundowns. And I'll get a foul here as well. Now wants to take the free kick. Chance for Leon on the left. In the end, keeper just parried it, but I fancy with a little more time, Brian Leon might well have got a bit more power behind it. This is the penalty that separates the two sides. Celebration from skipper Mohamed Rimat. Break for injury. Mamelodi Sundowns have a free kick over on the far side. Not completely sold out tonight, but capacity stadium of just under 70,000. Maybe we're looking at a crowd tonight of some 60,000 roughly. Rabat, of course, is the capital of Morocco, but Casablanca about an hour south of here, down the highway, is the biggest city. And the two big clubs of the country, Raja and Wydad, of course, come from Casablanca. Two sides who've dominated Moroccan football. Now Lunga, can he get another one square? Lunga finds Santos. This might be a chance. Santos with a strike, but Lunga was offside. Fali making his way back on the pitch after that short sojourn off for some treatment. That's the foul on Slim, which will be much debated, I'm sure, across the continent. Just trying to calm things down as we head towards the break. Rabat, of course, has a yellow card already, so he's got to be careful. Now Lunga, early ball in this time. Bach with a clearing header. Lunga again. Matthews. Big clearance from Luadni. 2 minutes still to play in this first half. Sundowns forces, of course, coming into this game with an incredible home record. They've not lost a home match since Etoile Sahel of Tunisia beat them almost 3 years ago now. It's 58 matches without defeat at home in all competitions. Chance here for Mokoena! What a strike! Absolute thunderbolt on the stroke of half-time, and Mamelodi Sundowns have equalised here and have put the pressure now right back on the Moroccans. An away goal is going to count massively, potentially, in this tie. Well, he's thundered some excellent goals in his career. Tebogo Mokoena, with that right foot of his, he knows how to smack the ball from range. He scored against Morocco, a brilliant free kick at the Cup of Nations 2 editions ago. I wonder, however, if this isn't the best goal, just in terms of significance, from Tebogo Mokoena. Played across by Leon, flick on by Matthews. Oh, what a strike that was. On the half volley, no chance for the goalkeeper. And a huge, significant blow for Mamelodi Sundowns on the stroke of half-time. Tembazwani knows what it means. He was a winner back in 2016, the last time they won. Well, that's going to calm the nerves and get them all fired up, Mamelodi Sundowns, for the second half. What it means for All Armed Forces is they're going to have to score twice if they are to win this tie. Well, the histrionics continue. Goal has been given. There was a little check in there, but I think that was clutching at straws. Quality strike from Mokoena, who's World Cup bound, of course, with South Africa. Well, we passed the 7 minutes of time added on at the end of the first half. Williams to clear. We wait now to see if the referee is going to play on a little more or take us to half-time. Mokoena here, looking for Leon, cut out by Tocanero. Here's Santos to Matthews. Good challenge again. This is a little extra spring in the step, understandably, now from Mamelodi Sundowns. Let's have a look at that goal again. Mokoena in the build-up. Was it that they were checking as a possible handball? Then Leon plays it. Matthews flicks it. And what a finish. Off the chest. Very clearly, no handball there. So we've come to the end of the first half here in Rabat. Mamelodi Sundowns with that dramatic equaliser after the penalty for Royal Armed Forces gave the home side the lead. It's 1-1 at the break. Sundowns are leading 2-1 on aggregate. 45 minutes still to play in the Champions League final. This challenge from Divine Lunga on Reda Slim. This declared to be the Let's have a look now at the first half highlights from this encounter. Royal Armed Forces and Mamelodi Sundowns playing the second leg of the African Champions League final. A one-goal lead for Sundowns after the first leg in Pretoria. Early call for a penalty here, waved away by referee Artan. Then a couple of dangerous balls across the face of goal. Rabat with a left-footed strike that he miscued over the top. Mamelodi Sundowns had two chances, one after the other. This was the best of the lot from Tashrik Matthews, just going wide of goal. There was some good traction down that left-hand side from Royal Armed Forces. Another penalty appeal, but very clearly a dive, and then some testing balls across for the Sundowns defence. This then led to the penalty, this challenge from Divine Lunga on Reda Slim. This declared to be a spot kick after a VAR review by referee Artan, and neatly tucked away by Mohamed Rabat. The Royal Armed Forces equalising on aggregate, taking the lead, but then in stoppage time at the end of the half, Tebogo Mokoena with a strike on the right foot of sublime quality. In off the underside of the crossbar, over the line, and Mamelodi Sundowns equalising. They were looking for one more just before the break, but went into the half-time level pegging. One apiece here in Rabat at half-time. Mamelodi Sundowns are 2-1 ahead on aggregate. They've got a vital away goal, and Royal Armed Forces would need to score twice now if they are to be crowned African champions. How are you, buddy?
Dude, what a fucking goal.
Jesus.
Jesus, crazy.
Saying on TV, I mean, he scored a few sublime ones. I still remember that one against Morocco in the Nations Cup.
Yeah,
but this has got to be the best of his career, just in terms of significance.
He must just leave the club after this
Yeah.
season.
Are you well? I believe you burgled accreditation at the last minute, or? Well played.
I thought we were just going to get like a generic one, like in Sundowns. I was like, oh, I need to apply.
He went to sit close to those guys over there because he gets... Yeah.
I am the same, bro, and I like to do things.
Put respect on Sundowns' name.
Yeah. Give up proud too much we yapara because of those guys. Number one, too much.
Yeah, we have that consciousness that we've been playing probably one of the most beautiful football played in the competition until the moment.
Why are big club trying to laugh at Mamelodi for going out of the Club World Cup? They got 4 points while your club is at home.
We are the Mamelodi Sundowns. We are the mighty Mamelodi Sundowns. We got great players like Ikam Raiders, Ribeiro, quality players on the ball.
Let's explain why. I'm Mamelodi Sundowns now. It's official.
The whole world has fallen in love
with Mamelodi Sundowns. They only lost one game, Sundowns, and that was against Dortmund, and that was 4-3.
Sundowns, they're fun to watch. They can be everyone's second favorite team.
Come on, Mamelodi Sundowns.
Every single person that has watched this team in this tournament will not forget the Mamelodi Sundowns.
Mamelodi, you want our hearts out. Don't ever, ever, ever feel the need to compare us to these dumb clubs. You're clear of all of them.
When I first saw this race,
Sundowns,
and then the badge,
never gonna put the gun downs.
I wanted to know more.
My Gunners brothers.
Then I saw them cooking Ultra HD.
Smoked in 4K.
This football was like a Mamelodi melody.
Mamma mia.
More rhythm than MJ.
Mamelodi G.
I thought I was watching Brazil play.
Samba Downs.
They know Dortmund's a big team, but they're not afraid of the challenge.
Sundown never put the gun down.
Until the sun's down. These boys and Divine Lunga,
hallelujah,
they're going to keep running.
Like they've got 5 lungs.
I'm going to give a special shout out to my Mamelodi Sundowns. Lifelong supporter here, new fan here. Love the way they played, loved the heart, loved the determination, loved it. I'm officially declaring that the yellow and green is appropriate soccer attire here in Cincinnati. Sundowns, here in Cincinnati, we ride.
Look at the motor on him. And then there's three against the goalkeeper, and he finishes properly. Brilliant.
I hope that we've given a good account of the level of football that we play, and our players have given a good account of themselves. I will say our motto says that Africans, young people, and maybe people all over the world, they shouldn't be limited by their environment, that the sky is the limit to what you can achieve, and your dreams should be as big as the sky.
There's one team at the FIFA Club World Cup whose support has been crazy. The Mamelodi Sundowns, the Brazilians, the South African champions.
Oh, we've always played this beautiful football in South Africa. We call it piano and shoeshine, and it resembles the Brazilian styles. We like to own the ball, we like to dribble, and we always win our game.
Sundowns are out of the Club World Cup, but they've done exactly what this competition is there for, which is to take their club to the world. If you don't know about the Sundowns now, you definitely will after this competition. Do not sleep on the Mamelodi Sundowns.
Yeah, obviously the supporters is always behind us. Even when we played at home, they support us through the season. So I'm happy. I just want to tell the Masandawana supporters, be behind us, and we love you guys.
هذا العام من الاول كنا عوالين اننا نديرو شي اكسبلوا زوين في لا تشامبيونز ليغ. سال الماتش الاول ودخل الشك، اول ماتش راجعين خسر.
دخلنا الماتش ديال الاهلي وتيقين في راسنا، ولكن
Welcome back, everyone. The permutation is now clear. Actually, Letlaku, who's been playing out wide on the right-hand side, will be sacrificed, and Allende will move into the midfield just to add a little more solidity to the defensive strategy here for the South African team. So confirmation that the player being replaced for Mamelodi Sundowns is indeed Kukwayo Letlaku. Decent contribution for him on the right-hand side, perhaps a little unlucky, but the situation in the game, according to Coach Cardoso, now demands the ability of Allende just to get his foot on the ball and maybe dictate the pace of the game a little, as he's so accustomed to doing for Mamelodi Sundowns. Chilean international, won cap for his country some 5 years ago. And confirmation of that half-time change. We've also got confirmation from pitchside that Dennis Onyango was given a red card, something that happened off-screen and that we couldn't see from our vantage point high here in the stadium, but Mamelodi Sundowns will have no backup goalkeeper in the second half. Onyango sent to the stands. Reserve goalkeeper, of course, for Mamelodi Sundowns, celebrated his 41st birthday earlier this month. Here's Leon now, up against Mendy. It's the Moroccans who need to take the game now to Sundowns in search of at least 2 goals. Taken away by Allende to Santos. Royal Armed Forces, by the way, only conceded 1 goal in the first half in the Champions League this season before Mokwena's strike, and that, of course, came last Sunday in the first leg with Aubrey Modiba's free kick. The Sundowns have done twice what no other team was capable of doing in this year's campaign, and that is finding the back of the net against Royal Armed Forces in the first half. And you can see Allende's role now very clearly from the start as Sundowns look to hold on to the ball. That pass a little short, though, to Lunga. Slim will play it inside. Rabat, good ball. Now, can they get the square? Up against Damane. Took a little deflection off the centre-back. It'll go for the first corner of the second half. Royal Armed Forces dominating the corner count in the first 45 minutes, getting the first set-piece opportunity of the second half as well. Played short, however. That's a disappointing kick from their perspective. Tashrik Matthews will just hoof that forward. Tucking out, looking to keep it in play. Now a little bit of pressure on the goalkeeper. There's Lunga's header. Mendy, who missed the first leg through injury. Tocanero. Al-Fadi. That looked to be a handball, surely. Difficult bounce of the ball for Rabat, who has been in the book, and Mokwena just pointing that out to the referee as well. Waves away the protests. No second yellow for the home captain. Beaten in the last 2 Champions League finals, Miguel Cardoso, is this to be his night? We're still some way from concluding the Champions League this season. Game number 154 tonight. A long campaign that began, of course, with the preliminary stages in September. Now, Lunga's pass in search of Leon. scoreline, of course, mirrors the two matches these two teams played in the group stage last season. It was a 1-1 draw in Rabat and then a 1-1 draw in Pretoria. On both occasions, Sundowns scored first, but tonight it was Royal Armed Forces who got their name on the score sheet initially. Lunga's header. There's Mokoena. Damani. Knocking on the door, of course, potential World Cup selection is Damani. Only turned 22 in February. Bright career ahead of him, that's for sure. Now, Hamudan chasing with Mudau. Another excellent bit of defensive work from Kaliso Mudau, who's made so many good tackles in this game already. And he's tried a little bit too much there, and now he's out of position, so he has a chance for the home side. Santos beaten by Al Fadli, inviting ball in the middle. Lunga, or Damani rather, got the touch. Still not cleared, and now the shot without much power from Reda Slim into the arms of Ronman Williams. Well, initially a very good tackle from Mudau, but then he went walkabout and gave the ball away. Put his side back under pressure. Not so sure he's going to try that again. Referee allows play on. Here's Leon. Allende. Santos to his right. Lost by Allende. Al Fadi pushing forwards. No foul again, says the ref. It'll be a throw-in to Royal Armed Forces. Hamudan went down rather dramatically. And now Adams down as well, as Hadraf pushes him and gets the yellow card. Needs his skipper to intervene and just calm matters down. This is what happened. Adams, the follow-through catching Hadraf, who took exception to that. Well, strictly speaking, that sort of headbutt from Hadraf should be a red card. And you wonder whether the VAR are going to look at that. Adams will need the stretcher. While Adams receives treatment, there are some anxious faces here amongst the home side. Might they lose a player at a crucial juncture? Now, Adams is getting a yellow as well. The two of them batting heads. It was very clear that Hadraf was the aggressor. Adams a little bemused by the fact that he goes into the book as well. No check of that from the referee. Royal Armed Forces looking to get onto the attack. It's the determined Sundowns now winning the ball through Santos. Foul, however, by Allende, according to the referee, on Hadraf. Or Rimat, rather. There'll be a free kick here. Opportunity for the home side to get the ball back into the danger zone. Sundowns playing their 50th and last game of their season. They've won 30 of those 50, drawn 14 and lost only 5. Here is Rimat. Santos had the last touch. In fact, no, Rimat had the last touch. It's going to be a goal kick. Good work from the Portuguese midfielder. Gets congratulations from Jaden Adams. Time, of course, is on Sundowns' side now. It's the Moroccans who really got to pile on the pressure if they get themselves back into contention. Cupido forward, only as far as Tocanero. Adams with a challenge. Hamoudan out wide. This is Anes Bach. Looking for the openings. Lunga with a challenge. Good defensive work from the left back. Not had a lot of game time this season, Divine Lunga. A little bit down the pecking order on that left side of Sundowns' defense. That's kept in play by Hamoudan. Little chip inside. Good header from Damani. His height coming to the fore there. And are we going to have another card here now? Lunga's making the most of this. And apologies on that occasion offered by Reda Slim. It was it was a nasty tumble there for Lunga. Backing into the player like that is so dangerous. And of course, falling with your arm protecting your fall also cause wrist and arm breaks. Sundowns with an expansive squad, of course. Many players on hand here tonight. The whole team brought across to Morocco. Tapelo Moreno, one of the players who's injured for tonight, flew in yesterday. They've always been very inclusive in that way, Sundowns, on their away travels, taking all the players with them to keep up their training regime and work with those who are perhaps rehabilitating. Rodney. We've had 10 minutes of this second half. 35 minutes remain. Africa's biggest prize at club level at stake here. Allende finds Santos. Touch is too heavy. Taken away again. And Mudau to the rescue. A little short there for Leon. Rimat. Cupido calm and collected at the back. He came to the fore at the Club World Cup. He hardly played last season with Sundowns, then all of a sudden was in the starting lineup at the Club World Cup and had an excellent tournament. Been injured a little at times this season, but certainly one of the first names on the team sheet, you would think, for Sundowns in this campaign. Bach. Slim chasing with Lunga. What's the decision? Referee's unsure, linesman unsure, and they both in the end concur that it'll be a Sundowns goal kick, and they got it right. It was interesting in the first leg in Pretoria, there was only 2 changes made in the Royal Armed Forces lineup. Sundowns utilised 5 subs in that game, but it looks as if the Moroccans are considering a change. Sundowns too have got players warming up, Arturo Sales and Motiba, 2 attacking players. Tocanero does well. Mudau to Mokoena, does so well at shielding the ball. Look how strong he is, but just tripped over the ball. And now the home side are on the attack. El Fali cuts inside, he's looking to shoot, gets the shot away, it's blocked by Adams. Hamoudan, square pass from him, only finds Cupido. Crowder appealing for a penalty, no one else is on the field. There's a bit of space out on the right-hand side. Another inviting ball. Again, Good defensive work from Sundowns. Jaden Adams on that occasion. He's not the tallest, but got his head to the ball there to clear it away. Now, a referee gets the game back underway. Roland Forces only got their goalkeeper and one centre-back in their own half. They really are pushing now, looking to restore their lead, but of course they need 2 goals. They need to win by 2 clear goals if they are to take this Champions League. Good challenge from Tashrik Matthews. No, an illegal one, actually. Free kick is quickly taken. This is Allende. Santos. Fimat back to win possession. Canero. Hamoudan shows a bit too much and Mudau does so well again. Injured in the process, however. The referee's going to stop play and allow treatment here for Khaliso Mudau. Just hurt on the ankle, the right back. Well, this is a big day, of course, for these Sundowns players. It will be perhaps not as big a day, but certainly memorable for those of them who will be named on Thursday in the South African squad, Thursday or Wednesday. That was the claim, half-hearted claim from the crowd, really, for a potential handball from Cupido. None of the players appealed. Now, long ball for Leon, chance here. Bounce of the ball favours goalkeeper Tagnaut. Mendy, who joined at the start of the season from Zarsis in Tunisia. He's also played club football in Kuwait and in Turkey. Canero has possession on the left-hand side. They're looking for some traction here. They've got Khaliso Mudau to deal with. Back it goes to Mendy. He's got a good engine on him, the Angolan left-back. El Fali cuts inside, inviting ball. Damani's there, takes no chances, away for a corner. And again, the crowd are looking for a spot kick. It was an inviting little ball, some excellent defensive work from the 22-year-old. It's only his second top-flight season. He's playing like a seasoned veteran. The corner count mounts in favour of Royal Armed Forces. Now we're going to have a second change for Mamelodi Sundowns. Arturo Sales will be coming on and Nuno Santos will go off. So the Brazilian replaces the Portuguese. He salutes the small band of Sundowns supporters high up to our left here in the main stand at the Prince Moulay Abdallah Stadium. Arturo Sales was actually at one stage, maybe 3 or so weeks ago, written off for the rest of the season with a shoulder injury, but he's made a very good recovery. His absence allowed Letlaku an opportunity in the team, but Saleh's onto the pitch now. He'll be 24 in July, the Brazilian. Cupido. Williams to clear. Ron Williams played in the Confederation Cup final with SuperSport United back in 2017. There's a final that Aubrey Modiba was also involved in. Toboko Mokoena was on the books at SuperSport at the same time, but not in the starting lineup for the two legs of the final, which they lost to Mazembe. Rodney now forward. Bach with a cross. Slim has possession. Canero waits. Can he get it into the penalty area? Clearance comes from Adams. They look to get Salles away. That ball just a little too long for the Brazilian. Kept in play by Tau Canero. And all the while, time ticks away. 65 minutes played. Another corner, this time off Lunga. Bach looking to take it quickly. Not really comfortable on the left foot. Hamudan, and loses out to Matthews, who's looking to streak away here. Being chased by Bach. He'll wait for support. Tashik Matthews finds Mokoena with Allende. Sundowns will want to hold a bit of possession now. Allende, of course, the maestro at dictating the tempo. Too strong from Adams for Lunga. Possession turned over. It'll be a throw in over on that far side for the home team. Well, they need to be a bit more attacking than this, Royal Armed Forces, if they are to get themselves back into the game. Mendy. Took his eye off the ball, Tau Canero. Coach Cardoso being sent back to his seat by the fourth official. Salles. Up to Leon, battling away with Mendy. Loses his footing there. Great interception from Cupido. Just stuck a leg out and won the possession for Sundowns. Oh, looking to get it back again. Foul against Kuliso Mudau. A little bit of a testy exchange there between Coach Cardoso and centre-back Cupido. It ended with Cardoso then telling everyone to calm down. Maybe if he'd heeded a little of his own advice, he wouldn't have reacted as viciously as he did there with Cupido. Now Leon. Allende. Up to Salles. Just those final passes not working out for Mamelodi Sundowns. Now Leon again. That's lovely skill. Matthews with a little stretch in there. That's, in the end, very good defensive work from Khalid Ait Urkan. Defence turned into attack for the home team. Back with Mokoena. Neither side able to hold on to possession for too long here. Foul on Tashrik Matthews. Captain's trying to get things going with the rest of his teammates, trying to get the crowd going as well. It's gone relatively quiet here in Rabat. I think the home fans realise the enormity now of the task with some 20 minutes remaining. Can Lunga get to the byline in time? No, it'll be a goal kick. Was here in Morocco, Divine Lunga in December, January with Zimbabwe in the Cup of Nations. Didn't get past the first round. They're playing this weekend in London in the Unity Cup with the likes of Nigeria and Jamaica. Good header away from Damani. Now Matthews. Leon, he's had a tough night tonight with the big frame of Mendy right on top of him at every possible occasion. Pass is a little too strong for Allende. Needs some more committed defensive work. This time from Cupido. Player down is Hadraf, who's being ignored by the referee and by most of his teammates. Now a chance to push forward. Rimat out wide. Hamudan cuts inside. Can he get the shot away? Does. Williams spills. Has Williams committed a foul? What's the referee say? Card want a penalty. Players want a penalty. Referee says no. Dangerous spill from Ronwen Williams. Put himself in a bit of trouble there. You can see the missiles being thrown onto the pitch, bottles of water from the fans. This is going to be costly for Royal Armed Forces when CAF dish out the fines at the end of this tournament. Now let's look at this again. The shot from Williams, a fairly tame effort at the goalkeeper. Untidy pickup though from Ronwen Williams. And did he bring down Yusuf El Fali or not? Williams receiving treatment now after that clash. And in that time, you can be sure VAR will be checking this. Well, they certainly felt it was a penalty. Alexander Santos. Is he going to be referred to the screen or not? VAR is checking. We can confirm that for you now. Off to the screen he's going to go. For the second time tonight, an opportunity for Royal Armed Forces potentially from the penalty spot. Williams making. There was a little bit of a bobble as he looked to pick up that ball, spilt it. And is that going to be deemed a foul on Yusuf El Fali? Just getting a single angle to look at now, the referee. As was the case with the first penalty, he turned down the initial appeal, did the Somali referee, Omar Artan. And on both occasions now he's been referred to the VAR. Wants to look at it again. Williams coming out. It's the knee that connects with the goalkeeper. Is that going to be some mitigation for Mamelodi Sundowns? I suppose the longer he looks at it, the more uncertain he is. Williams coming out claim the ball. To the naked eye, without the benefit of slow-mo, it looked like a bit of a rugby tackle, but let's see what Mr. Artan says now. Penalty. Penalty for Royal Armed Forces with some 15 minutes to go. Suddenly breathes new life into their quest to win the African Champions League. A second VAR decision goes against Mamelodi Sundowns. And if they can tuck this one away, we are going to be in for 15 minutes, the final 15 minutes of absolutely spellbinding football in this Champions League final. Those Royal Armed Forces will need another one if they convert this one. Well, the arguments still continue. The referee's made his decision. Williams shakes his head. Now, Anas Bach is the man standing on the penalty spot. Rabat scored the first half penalty. Is he handing the duties over to his 28-year-old colleague? Or will the skipper take it? Now, Matthews being sent out of the penalty area. Ronman Williams in no hurry to take his position. The gamesmanship continues, and it looks as if Bach is handing it over to Rabat. So another vital juncture in this Champions League final. Opportunity for Royal Armed Forces to restore their lead. Rabat, saved by Williams. Ronwen Williams to the rescue again. And is that the golden opportunity for the home side gone? Chose the right corner this time and made the big save. Clearance from Jaden Adams. The stadium sounds crestfallen. Play on here. Matthews, he's got Leon to his left. Ball back inside is blocked. Possession back with the Moroccans. What a big save that is from Ronwen Williams. He's made a few huge penalty saves in his career. Again, you wonder whether that's not the biggest one. Man who's played over 530 league and cup games in South African football. He's the final Royal Armed Forces to restore. Opportunity for Royal Armed Forces. And then over the top. Great drama tonight. Consolation there, or consoling for the skipper, but that's a hammer blow really to Royal Armed Forces. Time is not on their side now. There's some 13 minutes remaining. El Fali continues to the byline, drags it back, has another good chance. Damani makes the tackle. Oh, Mokoena lunging in on Rabat. Play on, says the ref. Sales with the clearing header. Corner it is going to be. Pressure continues.
Substitution for Asfa.
First did come on as one of the two changes they made in the first leg. Is back on again, 26-year-old, one goal in this competition against Al Ahly in the group phase. Can he make the difference? Onto the roof of the net. It is going to be a goal kick. What an excellent bit of defensive work there from Damani. Well, Ronwen Williams saving the situation, perhaps of his own making. And now another stoppage. Leon is the player down. There's going to be a fair amount now of what is euphemistically termed as game management. Double change here for the visitors. Grant Kakana and Lebo Mutiba to come on. Mutiba, former French league player with Racing Strasbourg. Kakana, one of the more experienced defenders in South African football, on the cusp of 400 starts in his career. Will it be Mutiba for Leon? And who's Kakana coming on for at the back? I think Tashik Matthews, as Sundowns go defensive now for the final 10 minutes. Allende and Saleh already brought on. So Mutiba officially on for Leon, and Kakana replaces Tashik Matthews. Centre back for a left-sided attacker. They are going to go with 3 centre-backs now. The Kakana will take the middle role, Cupido to the right and Damani to the left. Here's Mokoena. Saleh looking for Mutiba. Oh, is there to be a final thrust forward here from Royal Armed Forces? Or Mamelodi Sundowns going to see out the final 8 or so minutes, plus whatever stoppage time is added on, and be crowned African champions tonight? Third time lucky for Miguel Cardoso, if that's to be the case. Rodney. He joined Royal Armed Forces at the start of the season from Qatar, where he was playing club football. Given possession away there. Well, the coaching staff wants Sundowns to push forward. Here comes Saleh into Adams. Is he going to get the shot away? Wide to go. I'm not sure what Saleh was doing there initially. Still a long time from the final whistle to be looking to keep the ball in that manner, but then suddenly set up the attack, and Adams was up in support. Had a chance here, just under a bit of pressure, put it wide. You can see from the moment it left his foot, he knew that that ball was not going to find the back of the net. Well, there are quite a few people now deciding to leave. Stadium is emptying. Have the home fans given up? Need to get this forward, Royal Armed Forces. Remember, they still need 2 goals. Had that penalty gone in from Rabat, we would have had a grandstand finish for sure, but now it's all a little subdued. El Fali gets it wide. Another inviting ball into the penalty box. The foul on Damani means that it'll be a free kick and an opportunity for Sundowns to clear their lines. There's just a little push in the back there on Damani. Referee keeping a close eye. Cupido with a clearing header. Those are anxious faces. Those are happy faces. Mamelodi Sundowns fans have travelled a long way. It's no direct flight from South Africa to Morocco. It takes a long time to get here. This is Salez. Will they be rewarded, those supporters, for their efforts? Kakana's first contribution all the way back to Williams. Well, the coach wants them to keep possession, but that long hoof forward from Williams turns the ball over. Suddenly you can hear some of the Sundowns fans singing as the home supporters have gone silent. Mudau gives away the corner. Time is running out. Can they get themselves back in the game? Mokoena had the last touch. No foul, says the ref. Another chance to play it over. Good catch from Ronwin Williams. Vital catch from the goalkeeper. He was the player chosen as the best in all the African club competitions 2 seasons ago. He also won the best goalkeeper award. Ronwin Williams, on the back of his heroics at the Cup of Nations in the Ivory Coast. He has Adams now, looking for Motiba. Rather animated Sundowns bench conducting affairs so close to the touchline. This will be a free kick in favour of the home side. Slim has possession. Al Fadi trying to weave his way past Kuliso Mudau. That's proven a tough exercise tonight, that's for sure. There is no man of the match usually awarded. Whistle thrown at Mudau, who blows it straight at the crowd. Certainly amongst the blessed players tonight would be Kuliso Mudau. Well, there's the more animated looking bench now, or I should say the section where the non-playing staff have gathered or are seated. Allende, Adams. Works hard for him. Here's Adams. No foul. Play on. Now Cupido chasing with El Fali. Keanu Cupido is going into the book as well. Desperate lunge and he might have got a touch of the ball first. Free kick it's going to be here for Royal Armed Forces. Slim header away from Salez. So we're into the final minute of regulation time here in Rabat, and there will be We presume a fair amount of stoppage time added on. There's VAR, that single VAR decision, I should say, plus the injuries and all the changes. We'll wait to find out shortly how much time Omar Artan adds on, how much time he gives to Royal Armed Forces to try and sneak something here at the death, or for Mamelodi Sundowns to just hold out and take the Champions League. Much awaited for the South Africans, of course. They've been consistent performers in this tournament over the last decade, and it's proven elusive since 2016. 8 minutes to be added on. Here's Motiba, fresh set of legs. Has he got support though? Loses out to Tocanero, gives away the foul. Hadraf. Another long ball in there to the substitute Buriga, rather unorthodox from Ronwen Williams. Effective nevertheless. Flew his family over, Ronwen Williams, to watch tonight. How close are we now to crowning the best team on the continent for this season? Tibet as well. Allende with Lunga. Damani. Again, possession rather quickly turned over. It's Bach on the far side. Nuno Santos and Brian Leon, the Portuguese and the Colombian. Leon only joining, of course, in January and has made such a big impact at Mamelodi Sundowns. 10 league goals in half a season. Damani getting congratulations from his teammates. They recognize what an impact this young man has made in the very short time he's been at the club as well. Their signings in January certainly have worked out well. Santos came at the beginning of the season. Williams looking to get this as far upfield as he can. Finds Sales and Adams. Motiwa. Now Artur Sales to Allende. Here's Allende again. Well, that falls fortuitously for Sales, and here's a chance for Lebo Motiba. They have scored another. No, it won't count. Offside. Flags up. Will it be checked? Referee says, just hang on, let's have a look at that. I think he might be offside looking at that first freeze flame. No goal given. Play on. Or are we waiting still? Referee's told Royal Armed Forces to hang on. They want to check. At first slow-mo we had a look at suggested maybe just an inch or two offside Motiba, but let's see what the technology tells us. Excitedly waiting now, the Mamelodi Sundowns players. VAR is still checking. In the meantime, a couple of late changes here. Shamak to come on. He's come on already, and CAF on for Tocanero's been outstanding down that left-hand side. A real workman's performance from the Angolan international. This might be a chance for Royal Armed Forces in these closing stages. Queuing up, Mendy's in there, doesn't get a clear header away, and Williams is fouled. Just won't go in for the home side. Mendy just leaning back, out comes Williams. Certainly gets run over there by Rabat. There's the VAR check, and you can see Lebo Motiba just marginally off. High anticipation now for the Sundowns players. Those not involved have made their way closer to the side of the pitch to join in the celebrations. The wait is only 4 minutes. Just to remind you, Royal Armed Forces must score at least twice. Got to win by 2 clear goals because of the away goal that Tebogo Mokoena stuck into the back of the net on the stroke of half-time. 2 on an aggregate at the moment to Mamelodi Sundowns, on the cusp of being crowned Champions League winners. You can see all those empty seats now. There are very few home fans who believe that their team can fight their way back in these closing minutes now. Still some objects being thrown onto the field. Frustration from the stands, and very little happening on the field as well. So it'll be a throw-in for Mamelodi Sundowns. Header from Mendy, back into the danger zone. Finally gets away for once from Mudau. Still going, square ball! Another chance missed from right in front of goal. Well, that might have set up a dramatic last 2 minutes or so, had they put this one in the back. It is a big miss from close in. Square ball played there, and the substitute El Khayat somehow turns that over the top. To the relief of Sundowns. Sales is not going to finish this game. Tembazwane will come on. Maybe a symbolic change as well. He's taken the captain's armband. He's the one of the 2 surviving players, along with Dennis Onyango from the 2016 winning side. There is the final whistle. Mamelodi Sundowns are African champions. They have walked a very long road to get here. Finally, after a decade, they are crowned as champions in a near silent stadium, with the crowd having long departed. It has been hard work over many seasons, so much disappointment along the way for Sundowns. Big favourites last campaign, and they lost in the final to Pyramids. Some big wins inside the last decade against the likes of Al Ahly and Zamalek, some of the big names in African football. But tonight, finally, they crown themselves as champions. Tears of joy for Ronwen Williams, for many of his teammates. You can hear the screams of delight from up here in the high stands at the Moulay Abdallah Stadium, because it's so quiet. Supporters of Royal Armed Forces have made their way home already. Well, a big night for Ronwen Williams. Finally, his third African club competition final. He will get a gold medal. And for Miguel Cardoso as well, after 2 successive final losses in this Champions League, he too will have the gold medal around his neck. To be fair, Royal Armed Forces had their chances. That penalty from Rabat might well have changed the course of the game in the second half. Maybe 1 or 2 other half chances, had they gone in, Sundowns would have been under late pressure. But at the end of the day, you have to say over the 2 legs, the South African side were the better. And they can deservedly lift that trophy in a few minutes' time. Bitter disappointment for Royal Armed Forces. No celebrations tonight here in Rabat, save, of course, for the Sundowns Hotel, which I'm sure tonight will be a buzz of activity with all the South Africans in town going across to celebrate with their favourite players. There's a smile from Miguel Cardoso. You wonder whether he'll be staying with the club next season. He's had a tough year domestically. No trophies in South African football for Sundowns, who dominated for so long. But they had their eye on the big prize, which was continental success. That was their top priority at the start of the season. And in their 50th and final game of the campaign, they have achieved it. Ended a 10-year wait, and they will be able to put a second star on their jersey come the start of next season. Disappointment for Alexander Santos. There is the Sundowns president, Klope Motsepe. And we will find out shortly who the man of the match is. Alexandre Santos, the 49-year-old from Portugal. His first big final in African club competition, and a disappointing outcome for him. Right, now to find out the man of the match. That stupendous goal on the stroke of half-time from Tebogo Mokoena earns him the reward as the best player of the night. And we hope that we will hear from him immediately.